Sorry, det kommer bara. Hello guys! We're back! Woo! Hi guys, how you doing? Just gonna see so you can hear me. Yes, you can! Happy New Year! It's been ages, hasn't it? Hi, it's a new decade, guys. Welcome to this Decades of Streams. Happy New Year, how you doing? I have to tell you, the support that we got through all of this illness and sickness that we went through, and the support on Discord and this lovely community, thank you so much. I'm so happy, and I'm sorry that we're late today. Had the technology to get to work, you know. It's been out for so long, so it takes a while before it gets started. How you doing, guys? How are you this beautiful? It's Thursday, isn't it? How you doing? We started on a Thursday, the very first stream we ever had. I think it was on a Thursday. And so we're back. Today, some things have changed, as you can see. There's a new things going into the new year. This bar that is here, it's simply, Bembers wanted me to put it there. If you disagree with it, let me know. It's simply so that you get to understand that this is a company and that we do pay for sitting here. It's not, we're not doing it for free, but we are doing this for free for you guys. But Bembers wanted us to simply have this to show for that we're not streaming from home, and we can't stream from home, and therefore there's some expenses that has to be paid. So if you disagree with all this, because for me the most important thing is your well-being, or everyone's well-being, our well-being. And it's been a roller coaster for you who've been on Discord. Few of you know and been with, trying to figure out how we will work and how we'll do our work. And I've realized it was during a time that I thought, okay, you know what, I have to respect my own work and the value of my own work, so I have to set how much every session costs and so on, and don't do things for free. But then I realized this is not me. So we changed a little. We have gotten rid of every set amounts of what it costs, and this will always be for free, as you know. And if you want a private session, simply write me an email and we'll find an agreement that is suitable for you. in your situation, and you may pay afterwards and for what you feel it's been worth. And that is the way I want to work. And I'm sorry for just bringing this on you the first thing that happens, but this is something that really is important to me, because there's been a roller coaster in trying to work things out, trying to have it as a profession as it is, but at the same time working from my heart and being privileged to do so. And I would love to do everything for free, but this is just so you know why all of this is going on. And so we're just gonna try this out because Bembus thought that most streamers do have this, and simply showing that, well, it's not free to live. But if you disagree with it, we can get rid of it. It was just something that he wanted me to try, and so this is the reality of it. So yeah, that is the changes. So like I said, if you would like a private consultation, don't worry about, although I'm talking just about money now, don't worry about that, because I want to work in a way that it can be achievable for everyone to be themselves. And if be themselves is to have this consultation, these sessions, then that should be in a way that works for you. And that is so important to me. So I'm sorry starting the decade out talking about money, because it's the worst thing, and it really hurts me talking about it. And I hope that you truly can see through all this, because my intentions and my true intentions is to simply be here for whoever feels the comfort to be right for them. That is all. Okay, and I got that out of the system now. I'm just gonna read chat now. Hi, Fabian. Oh, it's so nice seeing you too. My new year was very calm and very beautiful, and everyone's been ill over Christmas and New Year's, so we've simply been at home and celebrated in the comfort of our own sofa. So it's been very calm, and it's beautiful. It's really, you can really feel this. There's always energy flowing, but I have people working the same industry, or what you might call it, or talking about 2020 being the start of a basically new era, in how everything is changing, you know. And we're moving in, people who are working with astrology believes that we're moving into the more feminine point of view now. I have no idea how it works, but I do feel a change happening. Although for me, it's always feminine and masculine at the same time, in everything. But it's beautiful. It's interesting. I love seeing how people are reflecting upon it, and I really can feel the change coming. You know, as for everything. How's your New Year's been, and your Christmas for those who celebrated it? This, hi. This beautiful stream, first stream, I was thinking we simply have a calm chat, and I would love to hear your stories. And if there is anyone who would like an energy reading, as always, just chat or just put in chat and we'll see what happens. But I was thinking just sitting here, having a slight of coffee, a cup of coffee, and simply enjoying our time together. But I'd love to hear how you've been, all of you. How was your New Year's? Your holidays? Hmm. If anyone would like to tell, I would love to hear all the stories. For some people, the holidays are joyful and beautiful and sparkling. For others, it can be all of this, but also it can harbor some tougher emotions. Some people feel lonely, Some people miss what they once had or feel like it never can have. And my hope is that these beautiful energies coming through, or whatever it comes from, stems from within you, as always. And I hope that these beautiful bubbles, oh, we're back to it, guys. Beautiful bubbles of joy really can show through and come through in a way that comforts you. And I hope that no matter your situation, I hope that you can still feel a little bit of these sparkles inside of you, because you are who is most important. Mr. Coffee Connoisseur, what would you like to talk about? And thank you for calling me nerd. That's actually the first time that ever happened. No, it's fine, Fabian, as you know. I understand, especially now when I haven't streamed for a long while. It takes a time coming into it, and I'm a little bit nervous, and I stand for things that sometimes people don't agree with, and that's totally okay. But I would love to hear your point of view. I would love to have, you know what? Since there are several people here who disagree with my belief system or how to speak, I would love to have a discussion. So if anyone is still here, I am open to talking to you. Truly, I love to hear from other people's point of view. I love to hear what you experience. And I'm not saying that because I feel like, oh, I really want to, to have you change your mind. Not at all. I just love hearing your experiences. Because everything, no matter how vast the universe, I've talked about this a lot, but no matter how vast the universe, no matter where we are, who we are, what we are, all we've got, when it comes down to it, are our own experiences. And I love for us to be able to share them. And they will be similar, like I've said, in emotion, although the situation may be very different. The emotional journey within ourselves, within all of us, is usually very similar. But we will still experience things in different ways and have different experiences. And I love this word experiences, as you can tell. So do tell me. I love to have a discussion with you. It's the best thing I know. Goatee, just need some positivity thrown your way from 2020. Would you like me to see if there's anything for you today, Goatee? I have also, you know what? I have decided that going into this beautiful new era, I am just done trying to impress or done trying to do anything but being me. And what I love doing is helping other people because I help myself in the process. That's just the way it is. And I just love being there and see these experiences. And I understand if people are seeing me as being untruthfully, um, sorry, um, untruthworthy, or that I don't believe in myself, or that I'm trying to scam people, or whatever not. It's fine. My truth is I'm going to be 100% myself, the best I can. Maybe we can never be 100% because we always have to have these different, play these different roles, right? But in my work, I will do so in transparency as well as I can. So, when I ask if you would like me to see if there's anything for you, I'm gonna check. And if it comes down to it that right now it's not, it's not time for you to have a message or for me to be working, I will simply say so instead of trying to dig. Because you want to do the right thing, I usually, before I often try to dig instead and trying anything, just to find little pieces of information. But I realized that the best thing I can do both for you and for myself is to simply be transparent and be honest and say that if there is no information, there is no information right now. But there will be maybe at another time. I'm just gonna... Oh, the music is loud for me. Is it for you too? Oh! Whatever you wish. I'll see, Gertie. I'm just gonna read. You know what, Fabian Bergwasag? I think that's in all of us. And I'm the same. Trust me. Hello, Bugger Craze. Welcome. I may have this calm persona, or, you know, at least trying to give off that feeling of calmness and to truly believe in myself, but I am just human. And yes, I do feel the sparkles of joy, and I want to bring them forth to you as well. Not bring them forth in a way of giving mine to you, but rather open up for your own from inside yourself. And like I said, there might be that you feel this, oh, she's so calm and it's so difficult to be in that emotion, or how does she do it? I am human as well. You simply see me in my profession, at my work. And I do have my moments, but I'm working on them. It's how everyone is, right? You're beautiful people. Okay, Goatee, are you still here? I just want to check if you're still here. And if you are, oh, watermelon. Hi. I usually call myself an intuitive counselor, but you can see me as a medium. Yes. I have not studied for anyone else, so I have not followed a scholarship of sorts, so to speak. But I do work with energy. I do work with who have passed and who's still here. And I work in different dimensions, usually connected to the Akashic libraries and the fifth dimension. So yes, usually, oh, I usually consider myself a medium, but I have not a scholarship in the studies, so to speak. But yes. Mm. I'm just gonna see here with Goatee, and then maybe if you want to stick around, Watermelon, I would love to talk to you more. Fadroot, hi, welcome. I'd love to talk to you more. But Goatee, let me see if there's anything for you today. They are immediately talking about using crystals today, so just hang on. I'm just gonna get my stones. Hang on, I'll be right back. I'm just getting my thoughts. They're all packed neatly because I was supposed to have had a session outside of the office, but everyone got ill, so we will have to wait. I'm back! So we'll see. Okay. I'll come back to you, Watermelon, if you want to stick around. You do as you please. So, Goatee, I'm gonna change music for this. Hang on. No. Sorry. I'm just looking. Okay. Oh, welcome to the community. I hope you enjoy your stay. Okay. So, Goatee. It's a very shut off energy coming through. And where I'll start off is the feeling that most of us harbor sometimes. And it's the feeling of not knowing who to trust or who to talk to. Not saying that you don't have people around you can talk to, that's not it. But what is coming through truly, oh Nick also, hi, welcome. All that they are talking about is having a friend. And that when things shatter, when the life just gets tossed about, I want to use that expression. And it's not like it's been completely upside down and it's not that it's exploded in that way, but security that you once felt that you had, or at least that you really, to feel secure is something, if you resonate with it, is something that you've fought for and with all your life. Try to feel safe in your environment is what is coming through you. I love if you would help me, because we're starting off very, very easy or very carefully. So I'd love for you, Goti, if you would work with me in this. So do you resonate if I say that? Or I think most people will do, but I still have this feeling of trying to fit in, but not fit in as for other people, but rather in your own life. So in your own channel of being. Channel of being is something that I would like to talk about. And there's a really shut off energy about this now, because I really get this feeling that we don't need to talk about what's been before, because we really have to focus on what is here. So I feel that frustration and what is going on right now. At the same time, we just want to go to continue. So we'd rather talk about tomorrow than now, and even more so than yesterday. So talking about yesterday and all this, I feel the frustration building up in it. At the same time, it's so difficult in trying to, I wanted to say stem the boat. It sounds weird, but to have the boat stop, to stop moving about. Oh, Fabru, thank you so much for your beautiful donation. Truly. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow as well. You remember, right? Thank you so much. It's so appreciated. What you've done for me is beyond anything I can say. Truly. With love. So, Goti, I apologize for that. It feels like there's a frustration here in that, because you asked me to give you some beautiful energy coming forth into 2020 rather than talking about 2019, and now I go back and talk about 2010, 2008, 2010, I feel especially, and just things 2009 moving into 2010, but at the same time just all of those years trying to find a way to stabilize yourself in your boat on your way, through life, and not, once again, and I know I'm repeating myself, but hang with me. It's not about fitting in for others. It's about trying to understand yourself. And things that has happened has been very externalized, or they come from the external world, and you have internalized it ever since you were a small child of maybe 5 years old, maybe going back even further. because you are that kind of a person who takes things that happens out here and bring it into here, and then keeping it into here, not wanting to disturb what is out there. But it's not about trying to, once again, it's so important, not about trying to fit in out there. It's trying to fit the pieces inside of what has become you from what was out there. It sounds weird, and I apologize, but I'm trying to find you in this. So you are a person who internalizes things that were before you had no ability to do anything about because it wasn't you. I'm talking about people being adults when you were a child. I'm talking about circumstances having to do with forces of nature, forces of other situational happenings, if you get my point, rather than what you could. It's not about what you experience, it's what's been brought upon you, and then how you internalize that. Yeah, and I can feel that frustration in why would you want to talk about what happened in the past? I would not want to talk about what happened in the past. I don't want to talk about what happened yesterday. I want to talk about my future because I need that bright light shining through. What I feel though is that that bright light, or that light of brightness, those sparkles of joy, come from within, as you know. And I believe that you can find that in acknowledging what you've been through before and acknowledging that it was not your fault. Because as a child, we are very good at taking things that are out of our control and feeling dependent, but also we also feel guilt for it. Like it's our fault that things are happening. So we're dependent on them to happen because we have no idea how our life would be if nothing were to happen. But we also take control of it in ourselves in a way of not having any control at all. So we feel responsible for them, but we can't handle them. And that makes us feel even more responsible. So why I feel you never seem to get things out is because you have not acknowledged yourself in it not being your fault. So you're still taking, you should always take responsibility for what you do, yes, but you're still taking more responsibility for other people and not, once again, not taking care of other people, but rather in what you. Thank you for the house, Fabric. Thank you so much. Oh, sorry, I have to change this music. I think you'll have no music right now. It feels better that way. Okay, let me know. But it feels better because I really want to focus on this because it's really important. A way for your goatee to find that bright light is to understand that the bright light comes from within yourself. And a way to see that is to acknowledge that it was never your fault. And I think that so many children need to hear this. And when I say children, I'm still talking about adults, but the child inside that adult. So why you can't get things out now is because you're still taking responsibility for what you say in a way that you still feel like what you did before, you somehow still have to manage that in a way that you apologize for you being you. Does that make any sense? Because there's so many words and I'm sorry. um, so when you feel you can't, when the words get stuck and you can't find your own tongue, it feels even that you don't even know what to say because I've just got Swedish in my head right now, but I want to use the word klandra. So just you're punishing yourself for something that was not your fault, and you're still doing it. And you've done that in such an intense way under such a long period of time that now you almost don't even know what you are to say. Before, you knew what you had to say, but you didn't know how to say it. And now, sometimes it's such a loud noise that is silence. So you feel what you have to say, but you can't gather the information to say it. You don't know what it means, if that makes any sense. So, like so many of us, what you have to do, thank you so much for another donation. It means so much. Thank you, my dear, dear friend. You always feel you can't find the right person to talk about it. And that brings us back to where I started this reading, in you simply wanting a friend. That is something that you never felt that you quite had. Because even when you got close to people, you didn't know which words to use. And their words that they're used in way to describe their feeling didn't seem right to you. It didn't fit you, who you are. So when I started this reading, and I'm sorry for all the interruptions, but when I started this reading, all I felt was you need a friend. You just want a friend. And I wanted to tell you that that friend is yourself. However, in this case, we need to first acknowledge ourselves in it not have been our fault before we can even start to think about friendship, because it is too hard on you. So what I want to do is to acknowledge yourself. For you to acknowledge yourself, what you've been through was not your fault. And then we can breathe. So this will take time, but it is something that you can also do right now. And I want you to go to a mirror, or to take up something that you can see your own reflection in. And this is a tough, tough exercise. But I want you to go in front of a mirror. I want you to look at yourself. And I know that you, and there's a very harsh word coming, don't like yourself. I know that you'll hate what you see. Don't. It's you, and I think that you are beautiful. And there are so many people who would like to see you for who you are. And I know that this doesn't make any sense in handling the situation that has been and how to move forward, but trust me, it does. So I want you to go and look into a mirror. I want you to use your own word for who you are, your name. And I want you to tell yourself that it was not your fault. And now we'll move on to the future. Can you do that for me? The past is not my fault. The future is my doing. And then we can simply choose what we do. But the past is not my fault. The future is my hope. But tell yourself that it was not your fault. And you are beautiful. And we can continue on living. When we do this, when we find that strength within ourselves, through the weakness, through the weakness of crying. That is a strength. When we can find ourselves going into that, being in it, meeting ourselves, telling our child inside of ourselves it was not my fault, and feeling that strength within all that emotion, that is when we can also get to handle what is at our table right now. I'm gonna read chat. Let the past remind us all of how far we've come towards becoming a better person, or becoming us. Whatever we are, whoever we are us. And we can decide in this moment that we are worth being us. And like I've said so many times, if we can see how far we've gone that way, imagine how far we can go the opposite. And if we bring our hearts and our souls and our heads in the same path, we can't hurt no one. If we know we don't hurt anyone and we don't hurt ourselves, we can live. So, Goti, it was not your fault. And then we can talk about the future and this beautiful creativity inside of you in your own right, in your own. I get like how almost like with building blocks before, building, putting the pieces together. And I don't know if it's a metaphor coming through, if it was something that you did, but I could see this young child putting pieces together, building a fort almost, yeah, with building blocks. And it could be a metaphor, but it's a beautiful picture that I see. And no matter if it's the actual activity of creativity, because then being not too, they're not being too clear right now, or that it's simply because of building up your own life. But I do see these building blocks. Do they mean anything for you? I'm gonna put on some music now. See if you get back to me, Goti. Yes, I see these building blocks, and they are so beautiful. Where did the music go? And oh, and I see this young child of maybe 3 or 5 years of age putting these, and actually, number 8 came up now as well. 8 is such a beautiful number, I think, because it just goes around in 2 circles, coming back together. It's so beautiful. But I see this little small child of 3 years of age, or even 2, or I see this in a long range, and I see these building blocks, and I see this fortification with them. You've always been told to look to the horizon too much instead of right now. And I think that that has been a way for you to survive. So when you ask me about give me some light for the future, I am telling you that the light for your future is right here. And it is with all that you've been through. Because that has brought you here today. And when acknowledging what you've been through, and that it was not your fault, and that you are strong in your weakness, in whatever way that comes forth, that is what holds our future. Believing in ourselves. And not in a way that you have to feel, oh, now I believe in myself, and try to imprint that on yourself. Not imprint, but like try to tell yourself that. No. Simply in doing so. And actually, when you can actually put to words, Sarah, I would like you to tell me give me some sparkling energies going into 2020, before 2019 has not been a good year. In you simply being able to use those words is beautiful. You know why? Because that means that you are standing up to yourself and you've already begun walking this path of finding the way back to yourself. And that is absolutely beautiful. The sparkles are within ourselves. And when you feel that you can get some sparkles through me, that is reflection of your own. And that is beautiful. So for you, Goti, to just put that into words, are a direct, or is a direct indication of how you're already moving forth to your own sparkles. No matter how difficult and tough and hard it is right now. We can talk about what has happened. We can talk about how parents or how elderly people, how adults affect us when we're young, and how injustice truly can behave. And we can talk about how that then comes down to other elements that we really can't control, going from people to situations, or from people to nature, things that we truly can't do nothing about. Also with death. And that is a tough transformation, that is tough to handle, that we didn't have control over people, we don't have control ourselves, and we don't have control over the world, we don't have control over anything. We do. We can just let it flow. We have control over believing in ourselves, and already you do. And we have control over letting go of the control and just flow with it. So the control, telling yourself it was not my fault, and the control of letting the control go, and feeling now I can continue living, because you're already living. So for you right now, Goti, all I really can give you is that the sparkle you want for the future is already in your hands. And go be that creative, beautiful soul that you are. And yes, dare to be around people. And you will see how you will open up like a flower. When you feel that it's too much, when you feel pressured from others, everyone, each and every one of us has the right to be by ourselves and to recharge. But yes, be there with others and trust that they will want to listen. But start with yourself. It was not very direct, not very personalized, but a rather, still a very beautiful message, I feel. Although it was very generalized, it was what needed to be said today. It was not your fault. You are beautiful. Now, let's live. Does that feel okay, Goti? I just feel this soul wanting to express oneself and not knowing how. And wanting other people to be there and to share this beautiful exploration of life. Because you really do believe in life, deep within. So be there with the people, dance together. in all the ways. Truly. All the love, Goatee. And I'm sorry that it was very generalized today, but it was what was needed to come through. Is there anything that you would like to say, Goatee? To all of you, I just want to say that if you're feeling my energy to be a little bit drained today, I am a little bit drained. Everyone's been ill, and today I am in this zone where I can't really get to eat anything because my body won't handle it, won't keep it down. So I'm drinking milk, coffee, chocolate and milk. Apparently I can drink that in order to sustain myself a little. So if I seem drained, I apologize. But I feel good. It's just this process right now. I'm ill in the way that I can't eat, but that's fine. No, it's fine. Truly. But Goatee, are you still here? How are you doing? Is there anything that you would like to say? If it feels okay, I'm always here for you, and if you would like a more private consultation, you can always reach me. You can send me an email and we can go through the actual points of what you've been through. If you feel that you need the comfort or that you need that help in going through it, you are free to. But right now I feel that it is what I have for you today, and I hope that it feels okay. I'm gonna move on with watermelons, if that's okay. And I just hope that you are okay, Goatee, if you're still here. And I'm sending you all the love. And like I said, get in contact with me if you feel that you would like some support in this massive journey that you are on. It is as easy as it is hard, because it is life. And you can choose also to have it easy, but I know that it is tough. Yeah, I think so, Goatee. Because it was very generous today, but I think, yes, what you needed to hear was that, once again, it's not your fault. And the sparkle for the future is already here. And in your hands. I'm sending you all the love. I believe in you. Sometimes we need to hear someone else say what we already know within ourselves. That's what I believe. Because I can never say anything that you don't already know yourself. But sometimes it is beautiful to hear a third person say it. I think. I hope that you enjoy your stay in our community, Goatee, and I hope that I could share some love with you and some sparkles. And like I said, get in contact with me if ever you feel like it, and stay here if you feel like it. All the love to you, truly, and thank you for letting me give you that message. Thank you. So, watermelons, shift in energy completely. Are you here? Oh, yes, you are. do so. And hopefully it can bring you some inspiration. And if not, just to feel like what is so beautiful is that when we realize how similar we really are, all of us. And so many people are having issues, dealing with issues in their lives that they feel they can't talk to other people about, when feeling like they're the only one experiencing it, when in reality there's so many of you experiencing, or so many of us experiencing very similar things. If we could simply open up about it, there's so much help to get in how others handle things, I believe, and what others experience. You know, sorry, Watermelon, I come back to you. I'm sorry, I just have to say this. Um, I've got not many, but a few clients, and what I come to realize, is that many of them do experiencing the exact same thing. Not exact, of course, but when I say exact, I mean the issue they explain as being the same. And so sometimes I feel like I would love to do some streams or some special courses or some consultations, but in a group consultations about different issues, specific problems or issues that people are dealing with, thinking that they're the only one and you can't talk to anyone about it, when in reality we can come together and in transparency talk about these things that might be taboo, that you might not feel in society that we can talk about, but would benefit so much from talking about. So I would love to be able to do that. I just want to tell you this, so I hope that what I say to others and what others give, that it can also help you in a way, because we're all underneath the same stars, and we all got that sparkle within our hearts. So I'm thinking about doing those group sessions, actually. We'll see. We'll figure it out. And then I will invite those people who I've had consultations with, who are experiencing these issues, asking them if they could consider being a part of a group consultation, of course. And then also put it up freely that we are going to do this, talking about this specifically, about regarding this issue that you might experience, or this experience as you might experience as an issue in your life. And whoever wants to join are free to. Is what I'm thinking of. We'll see how it'll go. But I am feeling that that could be beneficial for many. We'll see. Yeah, I think so. I really felt that there might be, because my guides are giving me these beautiful messages when I sit in consultations with people. And sometimes I feel if those messages, of course, because they are individual to each individual person, but the main meaning or the main intention behind them regarding this specific issue or this specific experience that we're dealing with, sometimes I feel it would be so beautiful if even more people could hear it, if that would feel right to them. So yeah, it's definitely something that I am thinking of doing. Not giving away anything individual, not anything personal about other clients, of course. Simply what they experience that they can talk about. And talk about what I've heard, but not from whom. Maybe. Ah. Okay, I'm so sorry, Watermelons. Your energy, you wanted me to read your energy. It is, as you know, all of energies are amazing, but you are used to hearing that you are. Oh, Bumpataki, Happy New Year! And Happy New Decade! How you doing? The first thing that is coming through is all this, hearing how amazing your energy is and how vivid, and that you can explore anywhere without even trying. Almost, it feels like you're keeping yourself almost like a foot beneath the ground at all times, if you know what I mean. And sometimes it feels like you dig straight in and are 17 feet under at the same time, because you love exploring everything and it just happens naturally to you, is what is coming to me. I'm just gonna check if you are still here, because I've been talking and talking, and I'm so sorry that I have not gotten to you until now. It's great seeing you too, Bumpatucky. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're here. So yeah, what I feel is that these things come natural to you, and you like to perceive them as not dark energies, but you like the feeling of it being a little bit mysterious and a little bit on the dark side, yeah? Um, which is interesting. And I just want to tell you that my guides are being there's very tough love, very much tough love here. And what they wanted to say with all the love, but what they really wanted to put forth is that we see through that. And that is not being, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to put you out of it. And I'm not trying to say that what you do is wrong or to hurt you in any way. I am doing this with love, and I think that this is something that you were looking for also. Because you tend to view these energies that come so natural to you to explore in a very, you like to challenge yourself and the world, and you like to play around with it. And if you can't play around with it in the physical dimension or in any dimension in that way, you like to think about it. And so you're very invested in it, which I can also see because it was the first thing that you said to me. So that makes sense. But I will also like to say that we still see the person behind it. We still see the struggle of trying to fit the pieces together. It will sound very similar to what I said to Goti, but not in that you've always tried to fit the pieces together, but rather that you tried not to fit them together because it's easier that way. And I also see this very, very strong front of saying that I am bullshitting right now. Not bullshitting in that you don't believe me, but that you would like to keep a distance because this is something that you are struggling with. It is something that has been your way of surviving, which I can understand. When we feel like we don't fit in, when we feel like no one really listens to us, it's easy to try to find a way to have the universe listen to us instead. And I'm not doing this to hurt you. I think this was exactly what you were looking for. Because I see this great front of trying to hide beneath it. I'm saying beneath it, but it feels like it. It feels like you're holding it up like this. Um, like what the other people are experiencing are in another dimension than your own. And I'm not saying that you don't have these gifts. We all have. I'm not saying that you are not special, but we all are. And I'm not saying that you're not gifted in using them. That's not what I'm saying. But I am seeing it as a front. And I say this with the greatest love I can. And I think that what you are looking for is to talk to someone. You would like to talk to people about what you're experiencing with energy. with dark energy, or what you perceive as being dark energy, or at least a little bit rebellious energy. Sorry for that pronunciation. But what you need is to actually talk to people about ordinary life, because you feel like you can't really get on their level to understand. Most people talk about how they feel like aliens, or how they would describe it as not fitting into this universe, into this world at least. And I think that you are scared. I don't think that you're intentionally scared. I don't think that you are, if you can be intentionally scared, but I don't think like you, I don't think that you're trying to be different. I think that you feel that you are different and trying to understand how to manage that, or actually just managing it. So for me to now say that there's something wrong with it is not what I'm saying, but to hear it, I can see that you understand what I'm saying, but at the same time, I would understand if these words would hurt. But this is also exactly what you're looking for, because you can't really keep up with what people are saying around you. And so you're trying to have the universe listen instead of the people in it. Does that make any sense? And these are harsh words, but they are said with love. Yeah, but does it make sense to watermelons? Because as you can tell, more people feel the same. And it really is that way. When I started out and I had grandmothers come through each and every time, I started to feel like I was doing something wrong. You know, how can it be a grandmother again, for example? Not in this case, but when that happened and I felt, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I am supposed to be doing. You know, I don't know this craft of telepathy or of using guides or any of it, energy work. And then I realized each and every time the grandma came through, the person resonated, and I realized, yeah, we are very similar, and it's nothing wrong with it. And this is also why I really enjoy doing these sessions, these streams, because so many will resonate with what I say, not because it's too generalized. Maybe sometimes it is for some liking, but usually it is very individualistic and very personified. But people who come here are also very similar. And I think that is so beautiful. People who feel like they don't know where to fit in can meet each other in a way that feels comfortable for them, where they don't have to disclosure all of themselves, but can listen to someone else's experience through a third person and realize that I'm actually okay. So with you watermelons, I'm not saying you shouldn't work with energy, no. But I want you to understand, at least how I see it, how I view it, is that it is a profession. That is how I like to see it. Some people may see it as a lifestyle, but when I say that it's a profession, I mean that it's something that all of us are able to do. Just that some people, it fits better for them than others, just as with any other profession there is. So with you, I feel that there is a slight addiction to this lifestyle. And I hear you. I have felt the same way many times. If you feel you don't resonate, please let me know and we'll figure it out why this is coming through. This is for you. But I also feel this is what you were looking for. What I'm trying to say is that you don't have to be a master of energy transference in order to be a master of your life. You don't have to use the dark arts in order to use your love. And when it comes to energy, in my experience, there is no dark, no light. It's simply energy. And everything is energy. But I did like that. You don't have to be a master of the universe to be a master of your life. I did like that. What don't you agree with, Tropics? I think I know the answer, but I still want to know. You feel like you know what you've done. I can see it. But I can also see through it. And that is what you were looking for. In this case, I'm not gonna say that it was not your fault, because you need to take responsibility. But you can also learn from it. The situation was not your fault. Your actions is your own. But I also understand it. To try to find another universe, or to try to find another dimension, for we feel we don't fit in this one. All those people that you don't understand, many of them are feeling the very same way. The way lanes are not always connected, not just because of you. Every relation, every interaction is between several energies. You're just one of them. And you deserve to be seen as who you are. Not trying to force your belief system upon others, because you shouldn't have to. Energy is everything, indeed. And everything is energy. That's what I believe in. Yes. So you go into social media to showcase your practice, but really looking for someone to simply say hi. So, my friend, hi. I know that it hurts hearing that people can do the same thing as you can. See, there's more of you resonating with it. And I love when that happens. Like I said before, we are all so similar. So when we feel like we don't belong, when we feel that we are better or different or worse than the people around us, just know how many of them people believes the same of themselves, are looking for a way out for themselves. So for every one of you, you don't need to be a master of the universe to be a master of you. And you shouldn't have to showcase what you've practiced in order to survive for people to simply listen to you. Many people do. It's the same with people who perform. You know, we all perform, always, but on a stage, for example. So many people are doing it because they never felt loved. Many people do it because they simply love it. But for many people, it's also because they never felt appreciated. The universe, the dark stage, is your stage. And it's okay to be on it. Just know that you don't have to be on it all the time for people to see you. Because I see you. And when I can see you, simply through energy, I believe that more people should see you for who you are, because because of where you've been, because of all this astral projection and all of this dimension jumps and everything that you've done, and also everything that you've done in your physical world whilst imagining you're somewhere else, to not get the blame for what is happening right here and now. You know what I'm talking about. All those things, we can't do nothing about them, but they are experiences. And those experiences, all of them, is you. It's part of you and will always be part of you. But if you feel like you've hurt people and yourself, the most beautiful thing you can do is letting other people take part in that experience. And I'm not talking about you hurting more people. I'm not talking about talking about those things that you did, maybe. I'm talking about simply being you here and now, because all that is you is you. And now feeling like, oh, I can't show myself if everyone can see what I've done. Believe me, there are so many of us feeling the same way. So what can we do? Say hi. Hi to their experiences. So it's time for you to take a step off that stage. Take a step up off from your high horse, sorry, but with love, and to say hi, for then you will get the hi back that you deserve. Is what I want to say to you. You can. Do you know how many people feel like they can't? Maybe this community can help you, because there's so many of you. I know that you feel like you're the only one who's done what you've done, okay? But like I said before, the situation might differ loads between all of us. But the emotional journey is usually very similar. So if you go into why you did what you did, with all this frustration and loneliness and restricted situation within yourself because of a medical function, because of how you are, if you go back into that feeling of loneliness and being deprived, of not being able or not being appreciated to think in the way that you think, to use your brain in the way that you want to use your brain, because it is your brain, to go back into that, you will see that there's many of us out there who feel the same. I understand that your past troubles you, but talking here now is a big step, isn't it? And it's what you've been looking for someone to wanting to meet you off stage. And this community is a beautiful way to do it, my friend. There is no reason for me to judge you. You are judging yourself already so much. So what you can do in order to feel better is to forgive yourself and to give back in a way of being you. And I feel that we will need to go back far and restart. We can never restart because we're here now and we should appreciate where we are. But I want to, just as with Goti, go back. I want to talk about when you were 4 years old. I want to talk about the abuse of never being you. And I want to talk about the loneliness in that and the deprive of love that you feel that you inflicted on yourself. Yeah, when you were 4 years old, I want to start there. I see a very lonely child. Then when you were 15, but I want to talk about when you were 4 years old. Might even been 2, but 4 is definite. I see fire, a lot of fire. I see flames. And they can be metaphorical or they can be actual fire. But they are a child who's very lonely and been left alone. And the room is big and gets bigger because of you trying to get away in your head, in your mind. But there's lots of fire coming through, and I think that that resonates well with you. They are not telling me why, but I feel that resonates. It's been here from the start when we talked. Yeah. But I want to go back, watermelons. I want to go back. I want for you to understand what made you do those decisions that happened before. I want you to go back. I want to talk about the 4-year-old child. Because I know that when things happen, when you hurt someone, you draw a line there and say, my life started there and I can't go past that because I have no right to. You do. And I want to go back. I want to talk about that loneliness. Not being able to express oneself, not having anyone to listen to you. You believe so much in karma, so I understand. And then you said not karma per se, but karma. I think many of us are dealing with loneliness. So this community, watermelons, can be a beautiful way for you to express yourself. It is a beautiful start, or a continuation of something that you already started. Yeah. And each time that you hurt someone, you feel like you hurt someone, or that you actually hurt someone, the time stops there. There's a timestamp. And the worse the hurt was that you inflicted upon someone else and yourself, that timestamp will be where you stop. So that will move. And then you've made yourself believe that you cannot see past that, and you cannot go back or forth because you're stuck in that moment. I do not want to, of course, you can talk about what happened, but what my guides are telling me is that for you to move on and not stop at these timestamps, because these timestamps will only make it worse the next time. If we find this proper and if we do this proper, there won't have to be a next time. You deserve to feel free. And I know you feel you don't do it, that you don't deserve nothing. That feeling, if you are afraid of having no conscience, that feeling is a direct indication that you do. So yes, to talk about it can help, but also to go back and see the reason for your actions, because we're not going to treat the symptoms. We need to treat what is behind the symptoms. And I know I'm not going to talk in medical terms, I apologize, but you do know what I mean. I guess it's a way to see it in the 3D dimension, to put it into medical terms in that way. The root of the issue, yeah. But I feel maybe it's important to put facts into this. And that root, or that illness, that disease, if you'd like to see it as that, I don't view it as it, but if we have to put it down to it, it's the deprived love. It's the loneliness and feeling of your brain being wrong. You're not wrong. You are not worse than anyone else. You are not right. You're not weird. You're you. And when people are calling you these things, when people have been telling you these things over the years, it's been their way of understanding their own situation, how to reflect upon their own world. It has had nothing to do with you. When you inflict pain upon others, it's usually because you feel that pain inflicted upon yourself. And I know that you know what I'm talking about. That fire burns so bright within you, and that fire is anger in this case. And that fire you like to explore as being magic. It is, because it's energy, and in anger are all the emotions collected. But you like to not think about the other parts of you. Then this rejected, misunderstood master of the universe part. Because that is the way that you have found your way forwards. If you could just come up with a solution to the world's problems, if you could just give, to come up with, maybe not the world's problems, but if you could tell people that you've realized truly what death means, or that you realize truly how the universe works, if you can just be that master also in other people's minds, you would not stop there either. But it is something that is always ongoing. So you go online and trying to achieve that role of being the spiritual master, or the universal, the master of the universe, because you don't know how to handle your own life, your own head, because people have told you that your head is wrong. It is not. It is you, and you deserve to be you. Not who you might be in an alternate reality, because yes, The universe is vast, the universe is great, there's so many different dimensions, and there's an absolute there's so much out there that we can't even begin to understand, as you know, as you've seen, and as you've imagined, and as you experienced. But no matter how, no matter why, no matter in what form that we are here now, we are here, and we've been given this life for a reason. So us who believe in the universe so much, maybe we should respect what we've been given. And yes, of course, there's a reason for us to want to explore more. Yes, of course. But I feel in your case, this has become an addiction because it has become a lifestyle that you can't choose another path or that you don't know anything else, because all of the human emotions that is out there, the sadness, the grief, the loneliness, the anger, the love, it's too much to handle. So you want to find another world. Unfortunately and fortunately, you live here among us. And do believe me when I tell you, there's so many of us feeling the same way. And I know that is tough because we are to be God sent, or we are supposed to be God itself, or Himself, herself, or we are supposed to be the master. Well, you are, you're master of your own life. And this I find beautiful. I'm not telling you this to pull you off your throne. No, you are super talented in what you do with your head. So do it also with your heart. So what I want you to do, Watermelons, is to talk about the feeling of hearing that your own head is wrong, that your own brain is off, and talk about what that makes you feel. Because I want you to realize that unfortunately and fortunately, so many people are experiencing the same thing. And I think just in this community, there are several people who would know that feeling in one way or another. You don't have to fight the darkness. You don't have to fight the darkness inside of you, because the more you fight it, the darker it will become. If you got black paint on your brush, use that paint and then dip it in another color. And I'm not saying hurt people. That darkness that you're feeling, that is making you hurt other people than yourself, that darkness, I believe, is human. So if you were to meet that darkness, really meet it, not halfway and say, oh, I think I know what this is. Haha, I'm gonna be the rebellious master of the Dark Lord. I mean it, meet it full way. You see the emotion behind it. And that big Lord of the universe is actually a crying kid, wanting mommy. And I'm not saying that to oppose you. I'm not saying that to disqualify you from what your life purpose. I'm saying that because it is a truth that is so beautiful and so real for each and every one of us. I usually talk about a circle. When we are feeling like we are God, or that we have to be God, or that we have to be the master of the universe, that usually means that we also feel like we're worthless. circle. It's so closely fit together. We feel worthless, and therefore we need to be the opposites. What this is truly beautiful in, though, what we can actually learn from this, is that if we are both God and worthless at the same time, that means we've gone full circle. Which means that in reality we're somewhere here. But if we feel this, that means we can understand the whole of it. We can understand all of it. And in that we can also understand other people that might be here or here or here. So this gives us a purpose, but it also gives us the experience of us. Like I said before, so many times, and if we can see our footprints been all over, way over there, and I can never let my conscience go that way, but my footsteps are all the way over there. Imagine how far it can go. They can go that way, how far they stretch, and then the vast variety of all of it here. The worse we feel, the more we know, unfortunately. But the best part of it is that we then also know how it feels to not feel like the worst. And we can start to find our middle way. You feel like the world doesn't want you to do well because you feel like you don't want the world to do well. Because you're sick of tired of hearing what you think is wrong. What you believe in is wrong. And not even hearing you out is what we talked about before. And I'm talking about this actual feeling of hearing from people we're supposed to be loved, that what we actually think, even in our heads, are wrong, is wrong, that we function wrong, that we are wrong, and therefore they'll no fit place for us in the world. So therefore we search beyond the world, just simply trying to hold the strings together. You need the world to be happy, you need it to be mine. What if it can be ours? Or what if it can be itself, actually? I think, going back to it once more, there is a child within all of us, however far we want to strive from it. And usually, when we want to fight, we also want to cry. What I want to give is to simply say hi. And I want to give you the ability to don't bother about what people have said, what adults or what society has said about you, about how you think and what you've said yourself. I want you to have this community to express yourself and to also gain that support in us letting you know when we don't agree, because it's as important. Not we don't agree, you are wrong. More like we see it from another perspective. Or this that you just said made me sad because of what I've been through. You need that 2-on-2, one-on-one interaction. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. Call me Dragon. Welcome to the community. I hope you enjoy. Sounds like you set your expectations high, and when it doesn't go where you want, then you feel lost. I feel like you feel lost at the very start, already at the beginning. Watermelons is what I feel. Because you have been met with that so many times before. But you have so much to give also to yourself. You have so many because you have tried to find your way, and now we're talking about in others' perspectives, find your way in not socializing, but simply living with among others, and feeling that you can't because no one will ever hear you out, because you have come up with ways to really try to engage with other people or making people interested in you, as simple as that. You have then gained so much experience in areas that would really help yourself if you can acknowledge, and then other people who are experiencing the same thing, and maybe then coming to your own community and find people who feel and think like you do, so that you together then can meet other viewpoints, and also listen to them. Because there are so many of us experiencing this similar feeling of being neglected, deprived of understanding, and simply feeling like people won't even listen to me. Once I raise a finger, people are out of there. So instead, I am out of there already before I raise a finger. I will go into another dimension because I feel more safe there than knowing what is actually going on here, because all that it is will never do me any good. And if it doesn't do me any good, it won't do the world any good, as you said, because the only way for the world to feel right is for it to be mine. Or rather, the only way to feel it's mine is for it to feel good. The world will never feel good if you don't feel good in yourself, because the world is simply an experience of yourself, of your own. So you can decide right now that what has happened has happened. I take responsibility for it, and in doing so, I go on with my life, and I believe in myself, and I have found a community that will hopefully, I really hope so, there are beautiful members in here that can listen to what I believe. And it will take time, but together, maybe we'll find the strength to actually share what's been on our minds that we have learned that are wrong. Nothing is wrong. Every truth is a truth. But also I can be judgmental. Yes, unfortunately. Even with the people I love dearest and I hold the closest. My fiancé, Bempus, he's always heard that what he thinks is wrong. And it is awful that I still judge him because of him choosing a path in life that I don't agree with. But at the same time, I want to agree with it because I love him. And I can see that he really enjoys what he's doing, but I can also see that it drains him. But then, if we take a reflection and take a look at ourselves, well, what I love drains me. So I guess that's just life, right? It gives and it takes, and it's just flowing energy. So I think that we need to understand this. When people judge us, it's because of their reality, not ours. Therefore, we will also judge others and ourselves. That is what is to be human. I have become very interested in the different personalities, the 16 different personalities. I can't remember what they're called, who came up with it, but there's all different sorts, but there's 16, I can't even remember. But when I am supposedly an INFJ, I don't know if anyone in chat knows what I'm talking about. There's ESPJ, no, and I sense for introversion or extroversion for E, and then there's feeling and sensing and perceiving and calculating or research. I can't remember. But anyway, that's really interesting. And in that, I'm INFJ, which means that I have judgment as my last attribute. And I do judge. And that, for me, means that I judge myself. And I judge myself for judging other people. And I can resonate with this with many of you because it is to be human. And we do that all in our different ways. But so for you to stop judging yourself and to stop judging others is to simply understand that you do and will always do. And if you feel like you have to get away and live in another dimension, do so for a while. Give it a slot each day. It's a way of meditation and it's beautiful. But also give a slot for being here and now and interacting with us. Because we, and I'm not talking about this community, of course there's also, but in general, people, because we have experiences. That doesn't mean that you have to go outside and say hi to people. I'd love if you do. But also simply interacting, taking part of others' content, as reading a book or watching a movie, also gives us input into other people's experiences. So use this energy knowledge that you have and energy interest in being there for a while. Maybe a time slot each day, like I said, or once a week, or what feels right to you. You can start having several times a day and then slowly moving out from it because of this being an addiction to you. But it's still important, and it's your way of both fleeing but actually also be yourself. And I will never take that away from you. But I don't want you to feel like you have to flee. So when you go into this state of meditation, let's say, and I know I'm not talking about what happened because now it's the future, okay? So when you go into the meditational states, make sure that you feel safe in bringing all that is you into it, meaning that you do this in a soft, safe environment where it's just you and you can be there fully. It's when we don't follow up on ourselves, when we leave parts of ourselves behind, that astral projection can become dangerous. It's when astral projection, astral sensing, masturbation actually also, or whatever there might be, that makes our mind travel. Reading a book also, in a way, when it makes our mind travel. I've got many questions. This is why I mentioned masturbation, because I've got many questions from people who feel like they don't know if they are masturbating because of a good reason, so to speak, if they're doing it to flee their body or to enhance their body, the experience of their body. I know this is not your problem, but well, I know this is not an issue for you, but it is very similar to astral projection, because what I usually say is that a way to know is to feel if you can be there with the entirety of yourself, or if you're leaving parts behind. If you're leaving parts behind, then you're fleeing from yourself. But if you can be there fully, you're doing it for yourself, with yourself. And I'm not talking about leaving your body behind in astral projection and having to, leave your body completely. That's not what I mean. A way to feel this is to feel the emotion connected to it. Are you ashamed of what you're doing? Or do you feel whole in what you're doing? Do you feel judged? Or do you feel protected? And then, sometimes we do things just because it feels good to do so. Both with astral projection, meditation, and masturbation. It's easy, it's very important to also take life as how easy it is, at the same time as it's hard. Feel lost and rely on like the spiritual word and use the energy to guide me to get what I want. Yeah, so you're trying to, you feel bad in what you do, but I feel like I hide behind spiritual words. Yeah, and you were looking for someone to see through that. And I know that that was what you were looking for. So we all need our stage sometimes. And your stage is in your meditation, because I want this to be a meditation for you in a more healthy way than you fleeing from yourself, than you drifting off when you feel like you are scared of how to commit being interactive with other people, interacting with other people. Yeah. So what I feel you need to do is to simply talk about everything. And this, I hope, is a safe environment for you to do so. You can join us on Discord and you can talk freely there. If you'd like to talk to me, then of course you know where to find me. But there's a beautiful community with many of you feeling the same way or a very similar way, and also a very different way, which gives perspective. So what we need to do is to understand that you are not, even though you feel so lonely, you are not alone. And I know that's a cliche, but there's a reason there is a cliche. You need to talk to me. You feel you would like to talk to me in a private session? Because if you feel like to talk to in a private session, we can do that. Or if you feel you'd like to talk now, just remember that this is open live streaming, a private session. Yeah. If you send me an email to v@vintuition.com, you'll find it. Let's see. Hang on, I'll write it to you. I just need to get the. Where is it? Oh dear. Bempus, are you here actually? I have not got my keyboard on this side of the screen, on the monitor. So I'm looking for the on screen keyboard. But if you send me an email to v@vintuition.com, so it's VHE@VHEintuition, one word, .com, I will book you in. We'll find a time slot that is suitable for you. Let's see. I'm just gonna take my time and see if I can find it. Hang on. There we go. Okay. I'm just gonna use the on-screen keyboard now. Hang on. I haven't flipped it around yet. Where's the... Bembus, since you are writing me, are you here? Because I need you to post. Where's the at? Guys, I can't find anything. I think I'm too tired. Where's the... Can you people who have a keyboard, can you post in chat, you think? v@vintuition.com. VHE@VHEintuition, one word.com. Can you post that in chat? Anyone who feel like they can, because I can't find my... Oh, right. Oh, I'm so sorry. Don't do. So sorry. Hang on. I use my ordinary keyboard. I forgot about that. I'm so sorry. Hang on. Was that right? No. You have it. Okay. I'm so sorry. There. Thank you, Bumpus. Sorry. Hang on. Bembus is writing also. What is going on? Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I didn't even think that. You got in trouble. Yeah, 1 second of trouble. Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, send us an email and I'll book you in for a private consultation. It's okay. And I just want to say this once again because I feel it's important. Don't feel stressed about having to book a private consultation because when it comes to this is a company and we take a there is a fee for them, but what is important is that you pay whichever amount you feel right to you. And if you can't pay anything at given time, that's all right. It's important to know that this is for your well-being. I just wanted to get it out there. So after our session is done, you can pay whichever amount feels right to you. And I mean it when I say that. It's okay with no money. It's okay with $1. And it's all right. Don't worry. You're not damned. No. But send me an email and we'll find a way to book you in, okay? Yeah, but 1 second is pretty fine anyway for a link maybe. It was just me. That was so it's a shame. Hey, Fabric, about VIP, maybe we can talk about that tomorrow also. We can fix that. But if Bempus is here, he's having other duties to be concerned with. That is not really the appropriate word, but he is working. He has a full-time job, so he's doing that as well as being a moderator here, is why you sometimes don't see him. But if you are here and if you can hear me, Fabric can definitely become a VIP should he like. But we can talk about it tomorrow maybe also. No, you can definitely be. We just have to see how we'll go about doing it. But it's fine. But it's beautiful. What you've done is absolutely amazing and it means so much to me. And I would like to tell you, you know, each and every time I have a session or I give a healing, I learn so much. And I love this. I would love to be able to study. And I've tried many times. I would love to because I love education, because I love to see what other people have found. I love to share that experience. I love to see that experience and to share mine. But for some reason, it's simply not been what is for me. But each and every time I do a healing session, especially because I follow my healing guide, they teach me, and my guide and my guides teach me so beautiful methods and techniques, and there are new ways to perform healing each and every time I do one. And it is so beautiful, and I am so happy. And I would love to tell you, Fabroot, you asked me to do a very special session for a while back, or I asked you if it would be okay, where I used astral projection. Would it be okay if I told chat about my experience without mentioning who it was or anything? Because this was something that I have not done before, and it was so beautiful. Okay, thank you so much. I was asked, or I asked, I should say, but in energy, I felt I was asked to go visit. Um, this was rather late for me in the evening, and I was at home sitting in my living room, and in energy, I was asked if I could visit someone who was in a hospital and just giving some strength, just some love, some warmth. And I felt, okay, for this, I will be needing to use the fire elements because sometimes I use different elements. And I just felt, okay, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna lit a fire, a little, just a flame, like I talk about, a little candle. And I'm just gonna use that. And I was giving the name of the people, of the person, sorry, and I just looked into the flames and asked the energies to transfer me to there. And it was such a beautiful experience. And I could not see anything, everything. I couldn't see it as if it was before my own eyes in that way. I use the fifth dimension eye to see things, and I've always wanted to because people are saying that sometimes they do perceive things in the 3D dimensional world, in the 3D, through the gaze of the 3D world, so to speak, from our very own eyes. And I can't do that. I see things in the fifth dimension, is what my guides are telling me. But I would love to be able to see it in my third dimensional eye. But yes, so I couldn't see anything like it wasn't like I was there in that way. But I could feel the energy of the room and I could see particular things in there and I could see the person, the individual that I was asked to greet. And I could meet, I could do almost like a session just in that energy. And it was so beautiful. Yes, Fadroot, there was many, it was just like meeting it was like here and now, when we sit like this and I get your energy. But this was for someone that I didn't have direct contact with. We weren't talking, we were talking through Fadroot. Um, But it was so beautiful and it was like giving a consultation a whole different way. And the feeling was to be able to sit there in my living room and at the same time be on the other side of the world. That was so, so beautiful. And I do this. I do this in my telepathic bond with my twin because they are on another place in the world. And I do this, and I know when they travel the world, I've seen it through their eyes, and I know all of this. But to see it in this way, with a, so to speak, client, or in a working way, or a work way, in my profession, so to speak, it was so, so, so beautiful. And I just love what I do. Sorry, I just saw Scéance. Pair Christ started to do the flame. Oh, with a candle meditation instead. How's it going for you? That sounds beautiful. I'd love to hear how you're doing. What amongst you want? I want to feel the energy of me, but around me. I know, I understand this because you're looking out to the universe to comfort you. But the energy is within you. But I understand what you're talking about, and I can see why, because astral projection is nothing new to you, because it comes natural to you. But I'm sorry to say, the energy, all of it, is within you because we stem from the same energy source. So whatever we feel out here, it is a reflection of what we feel in here. And yes, of course, it's external energy, but we are also part of that energy. So all of it reflects. And there's a reason for it. And I think it's so beautiful. And then also, I talked about this before with our auras, because I did this online course, love education, like you know, but I did this online course where they talk about how we usually want our aura to be, to extend so vast, because then we feel like we are doing the right thing, we feel like we are taking part, and how they talk about how it really is okay to just to draw it in, to draw it nearer to us. We don't have to take up all this space. It's okay to simply be within the limit that we feel right, that we feel comfortable with. Because when we're this open in our aura, we're also this open to all energy, every energy out there, and we can feel drained, especially when we are open to other energies. Like I said, when it comes natural to us, and then we are to be, our auras to spread across the world. I did that too. We don't have to feel like we have to always be that open in order to be justified. It's okay to draw it a little bit closer. People will be having an easier time to interact with us as well when we do so. Because our energy is not like that. It's more okay. We have this inside. All of us do. I would love you to clip that. All of us do. But we can take it more as a greeting than as being encumbered with it, if that makes any sense. Oh, I'm happy that it works for you, Bear Cry, so that you enjoy it. I would like to get back to you and see how the activities are going as well. Maybe we can maybe we can talk sometime and just check how everything is going. I would love that. So yes, being able to be on the opposite side of the world whilst being in your living room, I understand the thrill of it. And trust me, I understand. I don't know what you've experienced, Melons, but I understand why wanting to travel. When I met Terry Evans, a beautiful medium from England, I went on one of his courses, or one of his try courses, or if you want to try to be a medium. And I will never forget what he said to me. We were sitting in, I think I've told this story before, but I love this, just so that you understand we're on the same page, watermelons. We were sitting, a group of people in a circle, and he was talking about each and every one of us like I talk about you, but in a very shortened version. And he speaks mostly in English, but he does know Swedish a bit, or quite well, but he chooses to use English. And he was talking about each and every one of us, and then he came to me and he said, and then we got Sarah, and then he cursed in Swedish. And I'll never forget this because I thought it was so funny. He cursed in Swedish, and then he said, she's been everywhere. And he later told me that I could become a good medium if I stop playing around. And you can say it as you will, if I've managed to stop playing or not. But I love what I do. But I will never forget that when he said that to me. And it sounded so funny when he was cursing in Swedish as well. But yes, so I know what you're talking about. I know about wanting to disappear from where we are to someplace else. in order to try to find a place to be safe to call home. I'm just gonna change the music. When home truly is within ourselves. And I know people been what's going on? Sorry, I just saw what is happening? Oh, I don't know what is happening with Twitch. Yeah, Payacries, I thought that we could just check out no consultation, just take a few minutes and just see how's it going and see if we'll need a new consultation or not. But yeah, that was what I was thinking. Oh, I see. Nah, it seems like it's a little bit impossible with Twitch. Ah, it's fine. Have you gotten VIP? Are you a moderator or VIP now? No, we'll see. Watermelons. No, I know. I trust you, Fabru. I trust you completely. And you know what I work with, so it's fine. Watermelons, what you need to do is write me a message, an email. I'll book you in for a consultation and we'll see where we are. But as of now, use this coming into this community. Talk to us if you feel it right. Join our discords and stay with us, and you'll be amazed how similar pieces of our lives are. And don't feel judged. And I know it's easy to say, but I mean it. It's what I feel. So write me an email and stay on Discord. Does that seem good? And I'm not saying that you should depend on us, depend on me. That is not what I'm saying. What I mean is, it is an opportunity for you if you feel it to be right, or you find another community. But I think that finding a community where you can share your heart is important. And if you'd like to talk to me first, of course, send me an email. Don't understand how to take it. How do you mean? I'll let you use your words now. How do you mean? Oh, have we not got chat, by the way, on screen? I've completely missed that. Where's chat? Can we see chat on screen? Or has it been gone all this time and I haven't seen it? How do you mean, watermelons? I give you time to use your own words and I'll see what I can answer. Do you mean how to take what I've said? No, I understand. I completely understand. And we'll find a way to do so. Because every word that you feel like you want to choose, or every emotion that you would like to display, you are judging yourself for, or feeling that it will be judged, and therefore you are already judging. And I understand this. And I feel many of us can agree. I know beautiful members of this community have said to me that they apologize for not being so active on Discord because of the very same reason. They don't know how to express themselves amongst others. And that is completely fine. Maybe we should have... You feel like you know, but I have this feeling that I don't want you to see through. I understand. We all want to hide things. We all want to hide from ourselves. The thing is, and I'm not saying this to scare you, but what I have started to understand. Now, first off, I always work through my guides, and they are doing what is best for you. So they're not letting me see everything if I should not see everything, and I can never see everything. Okay. They're simply letting me know so that I can say the right things. Sometimes it might occur that I know more than I do, and that's a feeling inside of you, and that is fine. Sometimes I do know things that I'm not saying. Sometimes they are telling me things, but we work in a way that is to be comfortable for you. I hope that you can trust me in that. Also, what I have found is that what we want to hide from others, and also from ourselves, but what we want to hide from others, we put deep inside of ourselves. Problem with this is that we will start out on that threshold. So every time we view our surroundings, we would do so through the goggles of that thing that we're hiding, because it is the deepest side in self. We will start out from there, meaning that it is the beginning of everything that is us. So all of a sudden, what we hide deep inside becomes what we have first to express, because we are viewing the world through that mirror, or through that window, that glass pane, on what we want to keep from others. Usually, this is the reason why people find our method of counseling soothing. Because when you come to me in a private session, usually not knowing how to express your experience, because you don't know how I will feel about it, how I will judge you in the process. What we want to work with, and why we started this company, is for you to be able to come to someone who already knows. And therefore we start from there. We start from that experience as what it is, rather than what you might feel me feeling about it. In this case, here on stream, I have not been told clearly exactly what has been going on, but I feel the emotion of it. And what they are saying is that it's worse for yourself. And when you can meet me in private consultations, maybe that will become more individualistic, but maybe you will also be able to tell me yourself with your own words, which is also an important part of it. Or I will know. We don't know, because my guides tell me what I need to know in order for you to feel the best you can in this situation. Okay? Who's Link K? Hi, welcome. Oh, this hippie shit. Yeah. I'm an intuitive counselor. I work with energy and energy flow. So it might be a little bit hippie, but I think that we can all benefit from it. You don't have to believe in it though. It's completely fine. I love to hear your experience, but you are so welcome to be here. If you feel that I need to know more watermelons, it can be the feeling of you wanting to tell me more, wanting to finally come clean. And I understand that. But I think that we will work with these timestamps that I talked about before, that you are stuck within when you've hurt someone, when you've done something, these different timestamps. In private session, we'll work with those, and then we will let them go. And we will go back to the source of it, of this loneliness. And then we'll work through it, because the future is right now. But I understand the frustration. It is not a quick fix, okay? But the fix, or the way to it, is within you. And I know that it's a cliche, I know that it's generalizing, I know all of this, because it is. Because we are so similar and because it's life. I know you didn't mean to hurt them. So we'll start on those timestamps when you hurt someone, when you hurt your parents, when you've hurt your friends, or especially your parents. We'll start there, we'll go through them, and then we'll go back to the source. Okay? Good night, Fabian. Oh, good day. Sorry, I don't know why I said good night. Good day. Thank you for hanging around. Take care. Well, hopefully we're back to ordinary streaming now, so see you on Tuesday. And on Discord, of course. And thank you for your beautiful part in this community. Take care. Oh! And when choosing colors, take the bright ones. All the love. I especially want to talk about watermelons, your parents. So we'll do that, okay? Does this feel okay? There are many people who question what we do here. I like that. Welcome. Instead of thinking about the questions, do post them in chat. I love to talk about them. Truly. Ask anything. I mean that. I love to see it from different perspectives. I think it's so important. And I do understand the mountain that we have to climb in order to actually know. You know, I was gonna say in order to defend the practice or whatever, but I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done, trying to have people believe because it doesn't matter. And I'm not talking about people believing in telepathy and intuition and all of that because you do as you wish with that. I'm meaning me. I'm done with that, trying to impress. So I just love to talk about experiences. So really, ask me anything. Anything about love, always. I understand, but I feel like these are better to talk about in private consultations, watermelons, because you will always hold things back when you are afraid of people judging you. So what I will do is that I will create a safe environment where I will have a special link to you through my guides. And so that you will feel safe in what you say and what you do and what comes through. I feel that is important for me, for you also, but for us in this interaction, and also for me, yes. In this interaction, in this relation between you and I feel this is important because you will always hold things back that I feel it's directly connected to the roots. Okay. I am not a godsent, and it's not an easy fix. I know nothing that you don't already do, but maybe we'll find new perspectives together. And I want to talk about this because I feel there are people who really question. And sorry, I'm just listening to my guides. Yeah. Watermelons, we really want to take this in a private session. And if that makes you not believe me, I know it doesn't, but if it does, then fine. But it is what is important in this situation, I truly feel. And we can talk about this. I see this girl being dragged back and forth between people and between situations and being manipulated and all of it. But I feel that it is most important that we talk about it, just you and I, through the guides. Because all of it has is due to manipulation, and all of it is due to feeling like you manipulate and that you don't trust, and that you don't trust yourself, and so you can't trust others, and then dragging people back and forth and having them go into relationships with or relations with others. It's all of this, and it's fine. I want us to take those timestamps one by one, you and me, okay? The manipulation comes from you not trusting yourself, which comes from you feeling deprived of love, so you can't give love to others. It's as easy as that. It's what I believe. And it's human. And I think that you are beautiful in it and all that you've done, because it's part of you. And like I said before, what you can do with it is to take responsibility for what you have done, not what has happened, but what your part in it, and doing so in moving on. But we will take all these time slots once we sit down together. Okay? But we are talking about controlling other people. So I understand. And there are many of us who has that control issue. It's very common, unfortunately. When we feel we can't control ourselves, we usually try to control others for them to control us. And many of us would disagree with the last part of them controlling us, because why would we ever agree to that? But it is, in a way, exactly what is going on. Why would we not trust you? Dark energy, watermelons, is simply energy. And what I have experienced many times when people have talked about darkness and dark energy and manipulation and this real darkness, some people have said, my experience is that it's usually an ego behind it. And an ego means it's human or it's a soul, a living creature. And with a lot of resentment, usually towards themselves. So I think that is interesting is that when we choose to paint with darkness, we really know that we're standing in light. How else would we know that it's dark? So yes, we trust you. My guides trust you. You are simply you. No matter how inferior or superior you feel, many of us do. And it's a circle, like I said. It's okay. Why are you sorry? I want you to use your words now. I know that it's difficult, and it's okay. And I know that it can be frustrating, and that it is too much to take hold of or to understand, and every second line feel like it's directed in a way of fighting you, and it's not. That feeling comes from within yourself. But yes, I can repeat myself. If you're painting with darkness, you know that you're standing in light. How else would you know that it's dark? And that is tough love. So all we have to do is turn around. And we have to use that beautiful color that we got on our brush. So use it. And then dip it in another color. I'm not saying hurt people. I'm saying understand where it comes from. Acknowledge it. Put emotion into it. It's dark for a reason. And then when you used it up, then pick another one. Maybe this one is lighter. And when using that, I mean within yourself. Look at it. What is it that you're creating? What is it actually? And how does it make you feel? Manipulation. Yeah. And I understand that. I understand that you feel like you have to manipulate because no one has ever listened to you when you did not. But people are still not listening to you. See, there are many of you, of us, feeling the same way. It's very common. I have dear friends of mine and really dear people who use manipulation and are well aware of it. So that's the first step. But I'm not trying to manipulate you. What I'm trying to do is to say that I see through it. And you two have the common ground of feeling like what you feel. There's a difference because we have a difference between what we feel in our body and what we feel in our heads. But you've both been told that what you feel is wrong or off. And so therefore, maybe you can talk. Maybe you can give that greeting to one another that you always wanted to have yourself. That could be a start. And in return, help yourself, right? Sorry, I'm changing music again. Oh, yeah. So I hope that this community will help you do just that. Mm. I'm not scared of you, watermelons. I know. But that's because you focus on the universe. And you'd rather not focus on other people or yourself. Because you want to externalize what you have internalized. And I think that is the root of your feeling lost. So in an easy, soft and comfortable way, let's get you back to yourself. For to then explore the universe, knowing who is to explore it. Or who are to explore it. Right? I'm just gonna fix this chat box, I think. Still reading, so don't worry. I think that being... Oh! Jesus. What happens? So in a very easy way, I want you to bring yourself back to yourself. I can't be scared because that's not what you want me to be. Or that's not what you need me to be. And because I believe in you. And one does not have to be afraid of you. I think they want everyone to be afraid of them. At the same time, they want people to embrace them. No? I think you simply want to find your way. So I think you told yourself that the easiest way is to, or not, okay, not that you want people to be scared, but that you've taught yourself that they should be. But you still want the world to be a happy place. So that complexity is difficult because you're always moving out from yourself. So it's difficult to know who you are. When you explore the universe, it's difficult to know who is exploring the universe. I think. Hi Christ, can I have a quick energy reading? Curious to see how much you improved this last 3 weeks since we spoke. You've not done your exercise. You've done parts, but you've not done your exercise yet, Pegacris. And you'll tell me that you have, but you know what I mean. Don't worry. You're gonna tell me that you have, that you're working on yourself, but you know what I mean. Always trying to find your own ways about it. It's fine to wait till spring. What you have explored, though, I would love to know. Let me see, pear grapes. And watermelons, I'm still with you. To be successful and rich like a lot of people, they'll do anything and everything to get it. The reason why you would do anything and everything to get it is because that is not what you want. You do not want to be successful and rich. And therefore, you'll do anything to have it because it doesn't really matter. You don't really know the end goal. And so you'll just keep on moving forwards. And so you're manipulating your way forwards, thinking that what you need is to have everyone not worship you, but listen to you. Not everyone, but that you feel control. The reason why you feel this way is because that's not what you're looking for. What you're looking for is the people to hear you out and to say I'm sorry and to say hi and to listen to your ideas, because you have a lot of ideas that are beautiful. You see them as dark and mysterious and harmful, but there are beautiful things in them, within them. So why you feel you can do anything and everything is because you don't care. Because this is not what you want. What you do care for and are scared of and really need and want is to be accepted. And we are many people feeling the same way. Paga, you've set yourself up with a challenge of just working on yourself. But I do think that you are doing it at a good pace. It's like you go into it feeling, okay, now I'm going to do this. I'm talking about Pagacrace now. You're going to do this. I'm really going to get into it. And then you slide off into something else and forget. And then you're back on it 110% again. And I think that is okay, because that means that it will calm down. And you will do it in a way that you feel comfortable with and at a pace that suits you. It will calm down, it will even out, and it will be fine. So I'm sorry for saying that you haven't done the exercise. That's not what I meant. But it's okay to wait for spring and then really try literally what I wrote to you and see what that gives you. And then you can try to do it your own way. But try first the literal way. It's important for you. Try. Because that is something that is a touchy thing with you. You know? But in this, try. And then you're free to do it your own way. Don't bother yourself too much in your head in what you do and don't do. It will all calm down, it will even out, and it will be beautiful. Just trust yourself. Okay? I will get back to you on where we might have a small talk. Just see how you're doing. Just you and I. And no consultation, just a small talk of 10 minutes maybe. And we'll see. I get back to you on Discord with that. Does that feel okay? but it will even out. And I do feel like you've become more calm in when things happen around you. It feels like you can take it more calmly than you did before. This is really interesting. They're talking to me about an extended family, and this is something that I didn't see before. Mathematics, I feel like I want you to tell me what I needed to do to get what I want. I want you, Mathematics, I want to tell you that I see that what you want is recognition, not in a way of being successful, but in the way of being heard. And we start here. It's just time to put your foot down for yourself and continue in this process that you already started by being here. Yes, Peggy Grace. I'm sorry I'm doing this. I have never seen this before, Peggy Grace, in your chart or in your reading about an extended family. But now they are talking about it. Yes, you can. I know you can. And I want to do this for you. So if you feel me to be right, send me an email and we'll get through this. Okay? You can continue this life because you've already chosen to since you're here. And I want to hear you. I want to see who you are because you deserve that. But we'll take it in easy steps. Okay? I believe in you. Truly. And I know that maybe you don't believe in yourself or believe in me saying so. But I do. I'm not saying I see through you to have you feel like what you do is not worth it. I'm saying I see through you for saying I love what I see. And I believe that you can do this to live. Dead we can be later, for so long. Now we have life. And what does it matter when it's just life? Let's have some fun. I think it's worth it. We'll all be dead one day anyway. I think it's interesting to experience what the universe wants to give us now. And what the universe has given us is life. I think that is beautiful. And I'm so curious in knowing what will happen. And I'm so curious in knowing what will happen to you and with you. And I love to be here and to walk that path with you for a little while. It would be my honor. But I think that we are to respect the universe more than to not respect the life that we've been given. And the endless possibilities with it. And I'm curious to know what happens tomorrow. And we'll all be dead. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. What happens then? Now is now. Why should we think about not doing anything when we can do everything? And for you to be this depressed, depression is so important. I understood that you were talking about the life that you have, but I wanted to say this to you, but I think it was very important for you to hear also. Because when we start to feel like we want something else with our life, that is so beautiful, because that means that we see ourselves. And I do think that talking about suicide and life and death was also important in this. I just wanted to say that. Hi, last attempt. Thank you. Um, so it came through. They talked about it with me, because when you said that you can't live this life, I understood that you meant you can't go on living the way that you do. But they also told me about this being important to talk about. And I talk about anything, because anything is life. So yeah, they're not showing me the whole picture, but I know that it was also of equal importance to talk about. Pegagrize, having your own family like children's. I saw a young daughter, but they said it was an extended family. Extended family. So it was just interesting. I saw a young girl, and the name was, or they called it daughter, but I don't really understand, because this have not been in your energy chart before. So I think it's really interesting. But they talked about the word daughter of some description, but then also extended family. So not first family, but extended family. I don't know where it came from. Last attempt. Are you still here? Because you've got a very interesting energy going on. Thank you for being here, if you are still here. Or for having been here before. I'm sorry, I'm flipping back and through. Back and forth, sorry. Back and through also, in a way. But back and forth between you guys. There's so much going on. There's so much that needs to be talked about. So it's interesting. True. Yeah, they talked about a daughter. But they said the word daughter, but it was not immediate family. But I haven't seen that before. When you say that you want to speak to you about loved ones that have passed, my guides are talking about parents here. And I don't know if that means parents have passed in that way, or are not in your life anymore, or that you feel the I have no idea. But it's been about parents from the very start. But it feels like you don't quite resonate with that. It's just what came through. About wanting to build a family, having a daughter. Yeah, I saw this daughter. Daughter was so prominent in the chart today, or in your energy reading today. I never used the word chart before. I don't know. Maybe there's a medium in here who usually use that word. But friend and uncle. Everything just seems connected to parents. I don't know where it comes from. It's just been prominent all this time. But yeah, let's talk about friend and uncle. Use this for a way to express yourself. The parents are so imminent in your chart, in your energy reading. I don't know where it comes from. I'm trying to see if it stems from me from my relationship with my parents, if there's anything I should gain from that in talking to you. But it is so apparent. I can't let it go. Even when you say you want to talk about your friend and uncle, of course we can. I love to. But the parents are so imminent in this whole energy reading. It feels like it was the first ones that you felt that you hurt. Are they able to be here, your friend and uncle? Because you have traveled so vast in your energy readings yourself or in your dimension, it's really difficult to, because you've seen people from so many different perspectives and you've put so many different memories into one and each individual, so many different stories not compiling with one another, that it is difficult to see through your own roller coaster of interactions in the energy realm, if that makes any sense. I want to talk about cigars and I want to talk about motors. I want to talk about a man on the heavier side, or not heavy, but and a man on the very thin. But there's so many of them. I'll see. But I really want to talk about cigars, but that might not come from you. There's so many energies here right now. Cigars and motors. Yeah, that is definitely coming through. I see a girl also. So I do have 3 energies here. I'll see if they'll come together. I have a man in his 50s, 60s, 50s. I have a girl who is young. And I have a boy who is older, but not very old at all. However, the young boy, I think you knew as being older because I think that he is showing himself as being in your age, actually, rather than the age that he was when he passed or that you know him as being. But yes, I see a girl. But this girl, she might just be 11 years old. So it's not the energies that you asked for. But it is the energies coming through. The energies that wants to be here right now. I don't know what the pictures mean, but I see this young man standing over a hood of a car. And I see this young girl dancing with a white bunny, toy bunny, maybe. And I see this cigar. It's really prominent, the cigar. But they are not being very clear at all today. Maybe you can give me some information for them to come forth. Because there's so many energies, so much going on. Because you always seek what you can't find, if that makes any sense. But the girl, yeah, very young girl. I want to say that she's 11. Could that be the boy standing over the hood? Cardiac arrest. No. Did he have a sister? Oh, I can't find him today. Next to a ball. The only one coming through really is this. I just see this girl screaming, running, long, brownish, blondish hair. Did he have a sister or is she connected somehow? Yeah. No, I see this girl is coming from me. And she's crying, she's just running. And then I see he does. Because she is the one coming forth to me. I don't just work with energies or souls that have passed, but also people who are still here. And what is coming through there is that they never gave him a sincere chance. But I think that is there was not much they could do. I still see this boy, this tall boy standing by the hood of a car. I don't know what it means. This boy who is coming forth to me, I don't think you will resonate with, but what is coming forth is this boy with short, dark hair on a very thin side, standing over the hood of a car. But I really don't think that is anyone. I think that is more of a guardian for you, or someone rather that you've known when they were older, showing themselves to me as being younger. Because it does look like it was a while ago this happened. She is talking about plays. You know, scripts and plays. Talking about performing at school, a performance of some sort. It's really the girl coming through mostly for me. And the distress from her perspective rather than from her brother's. Yeah, but that might be just for her, it's just what's coming through. She's saying when she was 12 or 12? Oh, it's very not clear today. I'm so sorry. But this boy standing over the hood of the car, he truly is someone that you knew when he was older, but he's showing yourself being in your age. And he gained some weight. Um, White dress, red flowers. Oh, I just see this white bunny, but I don't think this is anything that would resonate to you. This is more of her perspective, the girl. But she is talking about all these stories, all these stories, and writing up stories, and how you would do your own universes together, you know, because you had this not similar thinking, not same thinking, but your thoughts came together, creating these interesting stories. And I think that's what you miss with him, having someone to share imagination with, if that makes any sense. Because he was very different from you, but at the same time, your different quirkiness, does that make any sense? Could really come together as to creating this beautiful energies. Oh, Lord Ken, thank you so much for your kind donation. That means so much. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying your time. Sending you all the love. Oh, that is completely fine. We usually work with Europe before, so it's completely fine. Thank you so much. Yeah, so watermelons, I think that is truly what you miss, because your different quirkiness really could come together, creating something beautiful, something very quirky, but something beautiful. And this is how his sister connects the two of you together, going off on these adventures of your own sort, if that makes any sense. Oh, it means so much. Thank you, truly. Thank you, Lord Ken. Happy New Year. And come back if you feel like it. I love you too. And thank you for the beautiful energy also passing through. It's not like you spoke every day. I could see that too, but at the same time, the connection that you did have, it feels like I said, the different quirkiness came together. I feel like it's something that you enjoy. I'm not letting that go. What she says is what connected to you is this different quirkiness or quirkinesses, or how to speak. And it's interesting. Then I don't know, because I did get this feeling as well that you were not that close, but at the same time, I feel it did mean a lot to you. At the same time, I feel like it means maybe a lot now. Not just because you asked about him, and not because he's the one showing up when you go to other mediums, but simply because it really feels like it lit something inside of you, which I think is interesting. Why he would be the one coming up when people talk about energies. No, his sister is the one talking. It's interesting. Yeah. You mean the boy, your friend, or spirits in general, or your uncle? As you can tell, there's not always that they come through clearly. Interaction is like the interaction between you and I. Sometimes it works completely fine and it just flows because we feel safe and secure with one another. And sometimes it takes a little getting to know one another. Some have loads to say and others simply want to say hello. And some people, some energies still want to hide. So there's a big difference. But spirits in general is interesting. I have actually, what I find to be really interesting and that I've noticed is that no one that I talk to that have passed has talked as of yet of their body. So what happened to the body once they passed? I've never heard a discussion of that, which I find is really interesting. And also, energies usually come to me in the form of when they were younger, or how they looked when they were happy, how they would want me to see them. And that I find also is very fascinating. So it's their own memory of themselves, how they wanted people to perceive them, if that makes any sense. Then what this is, I have no idea. Sometimes I wonder if there's memories, collected memories of these individuals stored in the library, and that we can connect to that library and get these stories out from there. Or that they live on in a different dimension. It's hard to say. Usually they are more involved in wanting to teach us something or to say us something once they've passed. It could definitely be their own essence, of course. I have no idea how it works, it just seems to work. But as you can tell, sometimes you can't simply ask for them to come forth because it's not always that they want to. And also, when you've been to mediums before, it's been in a different setting than here. Oh, I know that you've asked also in distance and so, but usually it's in a different setting, which makes other energies feel more comfortable. And they still have to be comfortable with me and all that, but how they feel about the afterlife, it's very individual. And it depends a lot, it differs from one another. The Akashic archives, yes, I believe it to be. I see it as the universal libraries, but yes, I think that it is the Akashic archives indeed. And it's from there that I collect my information. But sometimes my guides are giving me less information for a reason. Oh, Cannibala, thank you so much for subscribing to our YouTube channel. That zombie was not supposed to come up. I need to change that emote. Or not emote, sorry. That, what's it called? Widget. It's the same thing. I believe it is. I believe that we all stem from the same energy source and that we are connected to the same energy, and then all of our experiences collected in the same library, the Akashic library. But I can't go in there and pick whatever I want because of who I am and how I work and how I feel, and who you are and how you work and how you feel, and how the energies feel and the interaction between. My guides give little or more or a lot of information, all depending. But I do feel like your energies would feel comfortable in talking to you also in a more private setting. Um, I do have this uncle, if it is your uncle, with a cigar. The cigar is really prominent, always. And he's talking about news articles, of journalism, of wanting to keep up, always wanted to keep up with what is going on, but they're, my guys start me asking me not to work too much now, and that I should stop streaming soon. And I do apologize for it not being clear at all, but he's a very laid back personality and is simply asking you to do your life. And this cigar, it's like the cigar in itself is a message to you. Did you ever experience someone who had his own library disorganized and you helped them organize it? Wow! No! Oh, I love that thought. I think you just helped me a lot, Pegacrise, by that question. That is really interesting. Maybe that is something that we can start doing as well. But then again, I feel that it is organized to fit the individual person. So I think it's categorized after what is easiest for them or what makes them feel most comfortable. And it's really interesting. I love that. Any one of you ever experienced that in chats? I'm starting to think about these chakras when I have a healing session and we bring up this map of small chakras, and you can see all of the chakras are represented by a color, and depending on the color you can see which one needs to have some sparkles of energy inserted to it. And then you can also change the patterns which they connect to one another, but in a way that feels safe for the individual. I'm thinking about this. Organizing the library would be a very similar experience, maybe, but with experiences. Oh, I like this idea. I wonder how it would be. It was your case last year. Went through a very good psychic, and she did a session where she went to my archives, and then she told me my archives very disorganized. And she would help my guides organize it. It was really amazing. Before the session, I had no clue about purpose and what I wanted to do, but afterward things just clicked. I couldn't have said it better, Thadrup. Very enlightening, indeed. Oh, I love that you got to experience this. Oh, I'd love to do this. I wonder if it's the same thing. It's interesting. When I open up a chakra, or when I work with an energy thread and I open up these, I use this opening on the body, wherever it might be, not in the third dimensional, 3D dimensional dimension, but in the fifth. And you can see we all have our different strings of energy attached to us. And when we open that up and insert this beautiful bubbles of joy that I do, sometimes I think that it's a same thing happening, or a very similar thing to what you just explained. I can see this light moving into the body and then spreading so beautifully in the system, and just feeling how things fit into place. you know? And then when the client awakes, if they've been asleep, or when the session is done, usually they come to some new conclusion or understanding, or simply peace within themselves. And I wonder if it's a similar thing that we do. Maybe. But then again, every change will have us see it from a different point of view. So it's interesting. What I want to say, that is, um, the Akashic Archives, I am not schooled in that particular schooling, but it is a way to, it is where all information is stored. And we believe, I know that some mediums believe that when the world was created, when universe was created, all of the energies were also created, and then we were asked if we would like to go down on earth, or if you would like to stay in the universe as angels or as energies. And if we would like to go down on earth, we would then make up a contract of exactly how those life spawns that we were going to be reincarnated, were going to look like. So everything that ever happens in this belief is due to this contract that we've written. So everything is already planned out in every situation and in every lifetime that we live here on earth. And all these contracts, all these documents are actually stored in different libraries around the world. So you can actually physically go into a library and ask to have, I think it's 3 parts of your Akashic record that you can ask to be given, and you can in that read the part of that record or that contract that you wish to read about this life, for example, or the next one, or the life before, or so to speak. And you can, a very short summary or a short paragraph of that contract. I'm not sure how it works, but parts of it you can then read and see that yes, it has already been contracted, it's already been established what will happen. So I think that you can go into libraries and have this. These are written on palm leaves, I believe, but they come from the Akashic libraries where all of these different contracts are stored. Is one schooling, I believe. Soul contracts, yes. Everyone can access the Akashic archives as well. Yes, so you can do this physically, but then many of us, including me, also believe that you can find them in energy. So you can read what it says also within yourselves, or with the help of your guides, or however you work with the energy. And that is what I do when I use my guides. However, I am not too sure about this all being planned. I believe that there's a reason for everything, but I also believe that our own choices are a great part of it. But I'm not too sure, and I love to hear other people's experiences and thoughts on this. But yeah, so from someone who don't really know about it, that is what I know. Oh, Babbitt, hi. Beautiful seeing you. Great explanation of a very complex topic. Thank you. I know you know this much better than I do. But yes. Watermelons, send me an email. Bempus is here now. Send me an email. Believe in yourself, and we will take care of this, okay? Because you're not gonna get to manipulate me, and so you're not gonna get to manipulate yourself. What we are gonna do is send me an email, and we'll go through all of this together, okay? Good. I will have to end here, guys. And I do not mean to end in a way that doesn't feel comfortable for you. So, with love, all of the love, you know where to find me. And get back to me, especially you, Watermelons, and I will be there for you. Because you will be there for yourself. And this cigar truly is something, a message in itself. It's interesting how he really picks the cigar. I think it resonates with you. So take care, all of you, and thank you so much for the support. Would you like to meet Bumpers? Would you like to say hi? He would like to say hi, guys. Would you like to see him? Would you like to say hi back? Come on then. Yes, Bumpers. You know him. Hopefully we'll have our stream on Friday so you can talk to him as well. But we'll see. Okay, thank you so much for this stream. If you feel uncomfortable, let us know. And if there's anything else that we can do, let us know. We are doing this for all of us well-being. See? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Oh, can you hear him?
Probably not.
Oh, can you hear Bumpus? Say something.
Hello.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much for today's stream. You hear him? Great. And Thad, remember tomorrow? You remember tomorrow? Good. I'll see you. And I'll get back to you, Watermelons. And Paga, I get back to you as well. Take care. All the love to you. I'm just gonna shake so I can do all the things that I want to be able to do as we say our goodbyes. Yes, I can! Much love. Bye for now. Bye. Bye.